Sunny and approaching 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess I can try using my outdoor spray booth. Well, it was a warm enough day that I repainted. And there's no more frosting now. This is how it's supposed to look. Yeah, okay. And then, so I found these stacks from, it was off an old Zinger. And I'm going to replace these beer wagon stacks. See, these Zinger stacks are bigger and they're hollow. And where did they go? Oh, I don't know where they went. Anyway, they look better than the ones that come with the beer wagon. But the chrome's all worn off, so I'm going to have to paint them. Speaking of spray paint, I guess I'm going to complain about another one. So I sprayed some automotive chrome paint on these chains. And they were just covered with cobwebby things after I was done spray painting them, just all over. And they came out of the can. I could see them flying right out of the nozzle. Big name brand automotive chrome paint here. Yeah. There might be less than a handful of you probably asking, do you like any spray paint? Well, I used to like this one. But guess what I discovered? They don't make it anymore. Ah! This is a generic brand that was sold in all the Kroger-owned stores across the country, and I've used it since about 2017. They had started selling it in 2015, and I had never had any problems with contaminants spraying out of it. It always went down smooth. I did have the primer flat matte versions of this paint. Always have they felt like plastic after they dried. But I tried to figure out, why aren't they making this anymore? And there's a website on here. interamericanproducts.com in Ohio. So I went to that website. There is nothing on there about paint or any. It's currently all that's on there is food, grocery food. Well, it turns out Inter-American Products makes the generic brands you see in your favorite grocery stores, mainly Kroger-owned stores. And that I don't know why they stopped making the paint. And the employees at the local store here, the store in Pocatello that I used to get that paint at, they didn't know anything. And I did notice last year they had these paints. They had their discontinued, not discontinued. What do they call it? Clearance discount stickers on them, which usually means they're not going to be carried anymore. So I bought what I could afford to buy, as much as what I could afford to buy. And sure enough, they don't carry them. They don't apparently exist anymore. Well, that's just my luck. I use my coffee cup for a whole month before I clean it. 2 cups worth every time. Dang it. Probably gonna chop my finger off, but I'm always chopping myself up. What I'm trying to do here is I cut a section of old scrap flooring I had left over from a flooring project, and it's gonna see if I can put it on here. And anyway, that was the plan, because the original plan was, I know I've got some wood grain decals for World War I aircraft kits, but I can't find them. I've gone through my decal drawer like 3 or 4 times. I've gone through my boxes of World War I kits. I don't know. It's another example of, I know I got that, but I can't find it. And then I saw the piece of scrap flooring in the garage, and I thought, well, maybe I can separate the laminates, and maybe I can do that. I had to get a more aggressive saw. Don't look at it. Don't look at the messy workbench. Or the fact that my vise isn't even bolted down. Stop it. Got it. I had to slow way down because it started to make terrible cracking sounds. I always wanted to try using this for models. When was the last time you saw a bottle of Testors paint for 40 cents? Never opened. First time opening it. Uh-oh, I gotta mix it up. Where's my mixing stick? Feel good. Well, I was able to get a piece of the scrap flooring and make a wooden bed and cut these areas out so I could put the stakes in there. And it never fails. I always break one of these chains. 1 or 2. I actually broke 2. Then there's the instrument panel decals, which are just black outlines. So I put them on a sheet of white decal paper, then put some gloss coat over it. And look at this old bottle of Testors gloss coat lacquer, which I bought from a local hobby shop that went out of business in 2016 after having been in business. They were called Dapco Hobbies. They were in business since 1991, and they first started out with a big location in the city of Pocatello. Then they moved early 2000s. They moved to where I live in Chubbuck, and then for some reason, and well, according to some of the employees I talked to in 2015, the owners of Dapco Hobby said they wanted to get out of the business, didn't want to do it anymore. So they put their Chubbuck location up for sale, and enough of their dedicated employees insisted that they continue, that Dapco Hobbies continue. So some deal was made, and a much smaller, what most people would call hole in the wall, Dapco Hobbies location showed up back in Pocatello. But it was in such an out of the way place, and I discovered it by accident. And but they suffered burglary, which the burglars must have staked their little hole in the wall operation out because they targeted specifically the high-end remote control stuff they had. So that was the nail in the coffin that killed that local hobby shop off. And anyway, then a couple years later, Hobby Lobby moved into Chubbuck, and Hobby Lobby is so much more expensive than Dapco. The last kit I bought from Dapco was in 2015, right after I discovered their new hole in the wall location, and it was the 1/32 scale Revell F4G Wild Weasel it comes with markings for the Idaho Air National Guard, and the Idaho Air National Guard operated the F4G with the F-15 style windshield, and that kit comes with that windshield. So anyway, unfortunately the nose area of the kit is totally wrong in shape, so yeah, you have to buy an aftermarket resin correction. But anyway, I got it for Dapco's regular price for that kit was half what people were selling it on the internet. So Dapco was, not only was it the last of a local hobby shop, but it was cheaper than everybody else. But that wasn't enough to keep it from going out of business.